Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to the second part of this walkthrough of this paper 2. And let's get into it. So, the question 12 says, Anthony measured the length and width of a rectangle. So, I'm just going to draw a little rectangle over here. Not drawn to scale, so please don't judge. And it's measured as 38 centimeters correct to the nearest centimeter. And the width is 30 centimeters to the nearest 10 centimeters. Now, first of all, when we see information like this, you must always, like, that should be like a clue that it's about bounds. Now, in this question, they were kind because they said calculate the lower bound. But anytime you see this kind of information already, our ears should be pricked up to say, okay, there is, I'm suspecting that this is going to be about bounds. So the length is bounded by 38.5 centimeters and 37.5. Now, it's a bit weird that it's bounded by something that it can't actually be, but 38.5 is what we write. It's something that you'll have to get used to when you're doing bounds. And the width, because it's to the nearest 10 centimeters, is bound between 35 centimeters and 25, because it's to the nearest 10 centimeters. So we want the lower bound for the area of this rectangle, which means we need to take the lower bound of both things because we're going to end up multiplying to work out the area of the rectangle. So we put 37.5 and 25. So that's cm and cm. So we have 37.5 times 25. And that's going to be, just putting that in the calculator, that's 937.5. 937.5. So that is our answer. Let's move to the next question. Question 13 says expand and simplify. So this is, fairly okay. So we've got 3y times y, which is 3y squared. 3y times 3, which is plus 9y. We've got minus 2 times y, which is minus 2y. Minus 2 times 3, which is minus 6. Simplifying gives us 3y squared plus 7y minus 6. So that's it. We've expanded and simplified. 3y squared plus 7y minus 6. And next, we want to expand 3 brackets. So a nice way to do this is simply to multiply 2 brackets out first and then multiply by the third. So we're going to do y minus 1 times y plus 2. So y minus 1 times y plus 2. So that's going to be y squared plus 2y minus 1y, or just minus y, and minus 2. And that simplifies to y squared plus y minus 2. Now we take the y squared plus y minus 2 and multiply that by the y plus 7. So here again, we're just going to be systematic with our approach. So y squared times y is going to be equal to y cubed. Y squared times, that should be a 7, yep, times 7, just checking my own handwriting. Y squared times 7 is plus 7y squared. And then we have y times y, which is y squared. Y times 7, which is plus 7y. And then we've got minus 2 times y, which is minus 2y. Minus 2 times 7, which is minus 14. Okay, and then we have, when we simplify this, y cubed, standalone term. The y squared terms, we've got 7y squared plus y squared, which is plus 8y squared. We've got 7y minus 2y, which is plus 5y. And then we've got minus 14. So we simplify that, and that's the final answer. Y cubed plus 8y squared plus 5y minus 14. just like that. Let's move on to the next one. So we've got m squared plus 24m plus 63 is equal to 0. We can solve this one by factorization. We need two numbers that multiply to give 63 and add to give 24. And that is going to be 21 and 3. So m plus 21, m plus 3 equals 0. You might think, how on earth did I come up with this so fast? To be honest, with practice. It's one of those things with practice. But one thing I would say, one tip, is to think about the numbers that multiply first, because there are fewer possibilities. If we're looking just for whole numbers, there are fewer possibilities of whole numbers that add up to 63 than there are possibilities of whole numbers that add to 24. That's what I would say. It's one tip going forwards. So that means that so you've got two things multiplying to give you 0, which means one of them must be 0. So m plus 21 even, 21 equals 0, or m plus 3 equals 0. So m equals minus 21 or m equals minus 3. So we've got two answers for that question. Next, solve 5y squared plus 8y minus 100 equals y squared plus 4y minus 37. Well. With a quadratic equation, it's again quadratic because it's the whole squared term. We must always make it equal to 0. So we're going to subtract y squared from both sides, giving us 4y squared. We're going to subtract 4y from both sides, giving us plus 4y. And we're going to add 37 to both sides. And minus 100 plus 37 is going to be the same thing as minus 63. And that is going to be equal to 0. Okay. This one, it might be possible to factorize, but do you know what? I'm not going to, just because I'm not seeing straight off the bat how I'm going to factorize this. So I'm actually going to give you a flavor for the quadratic formula. So y equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And in this question, my a is the coefficient of y squared, so that's going to be 4. And I've got that my b is equal to 4 and my c equals minus 63. So y equals minus, I'm going to put all my substitutions in brackets, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so that's 4 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is minus 63. Putting it like this, because you can actually put this straight into the calculator, all over 2a, so 2 lots of 4. And I'm going to get two answers. So I'm just going to write that in the calculator and see what happens. So off we go. So there we go. We've got minus 4, putting in the bracket, plus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 bracket minus 63 all over 2 lots of 4. Oh, that's a nice number. So one of my answers is 7 over 2, so it probably was factorizable, but it's okay. And then the other answer, just going back, change that to a minus. Good tip on the calculator, you don't have to type it all again. You can just go back and change the plus that you put to a minus. So you can only do it one at a time. You can't do both at the same time. Minus 9 over 2. So we've got two answers there for y. Okay, let's keep going. Next, the triangular numbers are 1, 3, 6, 10, and so on. The nth term of the sequence is given as that, and it's asking us to find the 200th triangular number. Now, this is just simply substituting n equals 200. So that becomes a half times 200 multiplied by 200 plus 1. That's pretty much it. So in fact, we could use a calculator, but I can see here that this is a half times 200 is 100, and that's times 201. So that's going to be this number here, 20100, which is 20,100. Okay, next, Harley. Harley is 8 years younger than India. Okay, Jessica is 3 times as old, or 3 times older rather, than Harley. The sum of the three ages is 88. Right, the ratio of Jessica's age to India's age. Okay, well, let's do it like this. So let's see. Let's say that India has an age of X. That means that Harley is going to have an age that is 8 years younger than India, so X minus 8. And then, just to change color, just to be interesting, we know that Jessica is 3 times older than Ali. So Jessica is going to be 3 lots of Harley. And we know that when we add their ages, because sum means add, that's going to be 88. So 3 lots of X minus 8 plus X minus 8 plus X is equal to 88. And we can just work out what X is, and then we can use that information to work out Jessica's age and India's age. So 3x times minus 8, well, that's 3x minus 24 plus x minus 8 plus x equals 88. 3x plus x is 5x. And then we've got minus 24 minus 8, which is minus 32, which is equal to 88. So 5x is equal to 88 plus 32, well, that's going to be 120. That means that x is equal to 24. Now, if x is equal to 24, that then means that... can this color work? Maybe. That then means that India is 24 years old. Jessica is going to be, well, if Harley is going to be x minus 8, so that's going to be 24 minus 8, which is equal to 16. And Jessica's going to be 3 lots of 16, which is 48. So the ratio of Jessica to India in terms of their age is going to be 48 to 24, and that simplifies to 2 to 1. So that is it. Next question, it says, write down the inequality shown by the diagram. So we know it's going to be a greater than of some kind because the arrow is pointing to the right. So x is greater than. We know it's going to be greater than something in relation to minus 2 because it's floating above the minus 2. And because this bit is colored in, it means that it includes minus 2, so x is greater than or equal to minus 2. So that's that. Okay, let's do one more question. So we've got this question, a bit of coordinate geometry. So we'll do this one before we finish this part of the video, and then we'll do the other one in the next part of the video. So M is the midpoint of AB, N is the midpoint of AM. Find the coordinates of B. Okay, so if we know that N is the midpoint of AM, well, we can work out what M is, because we know that to get from, so let's just look at the x coordinate for a minute. To get from minus 20 to minus 20 to minus 10.5, we have to add 9.5. And because it's the midpoint, we're going to make the same jump. So again, plus 9.5. I'm actually going to be shameful and just do this on my calculator. So minus 10.5 plus 9.5 is going to give minus 1. So we know the x coordinate of M is equal to minus 1. And then for y, well, again, we can do the same jump approach. To get from 1 to 3.25, we've added 2.25. So we're going to add again 2.25 like that, and that's going to be 5.5. Sounds good. So we know that the y coordinate even of M is 5.5. Now we also know that M is the midpoint of AB, so we can play this same game of jump, jump, approach, approach. So to get from this time minus 20, which is the x coordinate of A, to minus 1.5, which is the x coordinate of M, we can see here the jump is going to be plus, ooh, what is that going to be? Oh no, it's 1, sorry, minus 1. That's going to be, let me rub that out. To get to minus 1, rather, that's going to be plus 19. Okay, and then we're going to do the jump again, so plus 19, and that's going to give 18. So we know the x-coordinate of b is equal to 18. Okay, then to get from the y-coordinate, this time which is 1, to the y-coordinate of m, which is 5.5, which I've written, the jump there is going to be plus 4.5. So we're going to jump again by 4.5. And that's going to give 5.5 plus 4.5 is going to give you 10. So the y-coordinate of b is equal to 10. So the coordinates of b in total, or the overall, is going to be 18 and 10. Okay, we'll leave it for this part and we'll carry on with the next part, with the next question rather, in the next part. Take care for now.